Seriously, this is the worst thing that has happened because of the Trump visit. This is a step too far. I'm not messing. I'm not messing. Like, is the world losing its mind? How dare they? What's the crack? Welcome to this week's episode. My name is David, I'm the Irish Guy Vlogs, and this week I'm going to be talking about Mr. President himself, Donald Trump. And I'm not making this video because I'm a fan of Donald Trump. I'm not making this video because it's clickbait. I'm making this video because Donald Trump is actually here in Ireland. He's actually just a few miles up the road from where I live, in a little town called Doonbeg. And Trump owns a hotel there. It's called Trump International Hotel. And like, I'm not politically minded at all. You know, I don't get into politics. But over the past couple of weeks, I've been hearing some absolutely crazy stories coming out about Trump's visit. So I thought it was only fair to share all these stories and gossip with you and give you all a better idea of what's going on here in little old West Clare. I've got my t-shirt and everything. I've got my Kennedy Space Center t-shirt. I'm ready to go. Thanks for joining me today. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe down below, and let's just get into this. So in one way, it's kind of crazy to think that the most powerful man in the world is literally a couple of miles up the road. Over the next couple of days, he's probably going to be playing golf, I guess, or I don't know, eating caviar out of a gold elephant's foot or some shit. I don't know what he does. He probably even has his own professional nose picker. Like, seriously, he probably has a guy that follows him around all day, picks his nose. I mean, being president is a busy job. You don't have time to pick your nose. Who has time to pick their nose? Seriously, come on. I mean, like, so it must be very convenient to have your very own hotel wherever you go. That's a pretty sweet deal, like, you know. I wonder if the nose picker travels with him wherever he goes. So I've been talking to a few people that I know, and friends of friends, and people who know people that work there, and all these crazy stories I've just, like, I gathered them in notes over the past couple of weeks, and I just think some of them are mental. First, and another thing, I'm not 100% sure if all of these are true. Don't take it as gospel. These are just things that I heard. This is all hearsay. Some of the things I can confirm because I found sources online. A lot of this stuff is, who knows. These are things that I heard through the Trump vine or whatever. Okay, so first of all, I've heard that there's cherry pickers. I've heard that there's cherry pickers planted around in like random locations, and that there's snipers up on top of them. Alright, I said this to someone yesterday, and they're like, no, obviously it's not for snipers. And that's what I was saying as well. The snipers would be like hidden and covert, and they would be like, you know, in like the margins of the grass or whatever, or in the grassy knoll or wherever. So it must be for cameras or something like that. But there's legitimately people saying, oh no, there's snipers. I don't believe that for a minute, like, you know. Just think of though, if there was snipers up there, they would be freezing. They would be freezing their balls off, honestly. And they would probably be thinking of taking the shot. After a couple of days up there, they would be waiting for Trump to come out of the hotel. I'm done here. I don't care if I get locked up, my is freezing. So the next thing is, there's obviously a lot of Secret Service and CIA activity in Doonbeg, which is mental to me. CIA and Secret Service have an incredibly tough job. They have to basically babysit the president. They have to take care of him, like whatever he does. If food is being made for him, like they have to watch the people making the food and all this stuff. Like it's crazy. They have a really tough job, like super tough job. The toughest job they're gonna have during this visit is pronouncing Irish place names. Listen to some of these. Like, these are some places around Doonbeg, okay? Caherfennick. It's not too bad, okay? Caherfennick sounds grand, not too bad. Then you've Craganock, which is grand for an Irish person to say, but I guarantee you some people would say that really badly. And then you have one that is kind of hard for me to say. It's Clunagarnan. Yeah, Clunagarnan. I think I'm saying that right. I'm not 100% sure. Can someone confirm? And then the last one, Rynaganocht, RYHNAGONNAUGHT, Rynaganocht. I mean, like, you don't get CIA training for this kind of stuff. You know, you can be waterboarded, you can, like, you know, you can be interrogated and like get the shit kicked out of you, but like there's no CIA operative out there that can handle the silent G in Irish language. It just can't be done, you know. So that's going to be their toughest trial. Oh, and there's another place actually, and it's called Pound the Gun. And this is where I think they're going to be like, you know, it's got gun in the name, You know, you gotta, got gun in the name, this is where they're hiding the guns. Obviously, Paul McGunn, that's where the guns are. You know, you gotta think like the CIA, you know? I'm probably gonna get shot for this. Of course, with a team of operatives like that, you're obviously going to have sniffer dogs and stuff like that, but these are no ordinary sniffer dogs. There is a huge team of sniffer dogs with robotic noses. I swear. Invented in the 1950s by Werner von Braun. Oh no, I think I'm getting conspiracies mixed up with real life. But I think they're just dogs. I think they're just sniffer dogs. Non-robotic, just regular old sniffer dogs, probably trained to sniff out bombs and, like, you know, rogue farmers with shotguns sitting in the ditches so the dogs can smell bombs, and rogue farmers with shotguns. That's specifically what they're trained for. I read that somewhere in my mind. The thing is, you just never know with those rogue farmers. Ireland is littered with rogue farmers hiding in ditches with shotguns, so be careful. So another thing, I'm not sure obviously if this is true. I'm not sure if any of this is true, but apparently the internet all around Doonbeg is going to be down for a couple of days. I mean, Trump must have internet. Like, I've seen it on Twitter today. He was tweeting, oh, what a lovely big day, or whatever he was saying. So he must have internet. So I don't know if the internet's down around Doonbeg or if Trump has, like, imported internet all the way from America. You know what I mean? His own, like, presidential internet. That's some good internet. Maybe there's, like, restrictions or something, I don't know. But that's another thing that I heard. Another thing I've heard is that gun owners... Another thing I've heard is that people around the area of Doonbeg that own guns, all their licenses and all their guns had to be checked, that they were locked away and stuff like that. And I mean, they're meant to be locked away anyway, but it all had to be checked. That's what I've heard. And I think that's kind of... It's like... What, you don't trust people? I mean, I know there's rogue farmers with shotguns out there, but other than the rogue farmers with shotguns, as I previously mentioned, Irish people are pretty decent with guns and weapons and stuff. But it's kind of funny to me because they had to check Irish people's guns, but at the same time, the CIA and the Secret Service, they're all, like, covered in guns, you know? They're like Neo from the fucking Matrix, you know? Actually, I think a better idea, if the CIA operatives and the Secret Service dressed as Neo from the Matrix, then they would have to worry about nothing. Nobody would those guys. Nobody. And that's a fact. So that could be an idea for Trump, you know? Get your guys to dress like Neo from the Matrix, and, like, they will be badass motherfuckers and nobody will mess with them. So one of the craziest things I've heard out of all of this is that there's cameras coming out of the ground on the grounds of Trump golf course, and I'm not 100% sure if these were already there as part of the security measures or if this was just put in as part of, like, Trump's visit. I have a theory on this. I think that Trump's people has hired a team of very sophisticated, highly trained moles with GoPro cameras on their heads. And the thing about this is it's genius because the moles themselves are blind and they can't see anything. They just record the video. And, like, if they're ever caught, then they can't be interrogated because they literally saw nothing. You know what I mean? You ever hear that old mafia saying, I didn't see nothing? A little known fact is that the mafia used to use moles back in the day. Nobody ever talks about that stuff, you know? That's history for you. And, like, there's other things, like, that was one of the craziest things I've heard, but there's other things, like, everybody needs to have ID on them. If you're up around Doonbeg or anything like that, you need to have, like, an official ID on you, and that's probably a passport or some kind of, like, official document. And there's other things, like weddings in the hotel had to be cancelled. Farmers aren't allowed to cut their grass or spread, like, fertilizer on their grass. And this is a fact, this is on YouTube. Like, what's the reason behind this? Like, we're gonna make fertilizer bombs or something? I don't understand. And apparently the Irish Navy are off the coast, and then the American Navy are there as well. And to be fair, I'm not putting the Irish Navy down, but in comparison to the American Navy, the Irish Navy may as well be like a 70-year-old man in a little dinghy hopping along in the shallow water. The American Navy would just decimate almost anything on Earth. So I don't know why the Irish Navy is there. Maybe is that taxpayers' money going to good use or whatever? It's just crazy to me, you know, that, like, all of this effort is going into pleasing Trump. He probably doesn't even care. And there's also a priest in Doonbeg called Father Joe Hawk, and he himself has said that he has saved a place in heaven for the Trump family. Well, Father Hawk, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I don't think that's how that's gonna work out. I think you might be disappointed with the outcome there, Father Hawk. And I think God's gonna have some pretty heavy security on the pearly gates that day. Like, out of all of this, out of all the crazy things I've heard, out of all the stories, out of everything else, the worst thing to happen is this.
And here's a lovely bit of detail about Donald Trump's visit to Doonbeg, to County Clare. The Friday night bingo, apparently in the community centre in Doonbeg, has been cancelled because the area is under security restrictions. If you are planning to go there for the bingo, it's cancelled. You heard it here on Sky News.
The fucking Friday bingo was cancelled. What? Seriously, this is the worst thing that has happened because of the Trump visit. This is a step too far. I'm not messing. I'm not messing. The fucking Friday bingo in Doonbeg was cancelled. Like, is the world losing its mind? How dare they? This is not. I'm genuinely heartbroken thinking about all the elderly people who have no place to go tonight. Friday bingo's cancelled. Oh, I'm just going to sit at home, Mary, and do not. No, the bingo's cancelled. No, poor Mary, poor Joan. I don't know what their names are, but like, they've no place to go tonight, all because Donald Trump wanted to go to his hotel. That's fucking bullshit, if I've ever heard it. That's unfair. And I like to think now that there's I like to think that all the elderly people are at home, you know, and they're like gonna make a coup. They're all gonna join up together, and they'll be like fucking crocheting body armor, fashioning weapons together out of their walkers and stuff. Is this insensitive? But like, it's unfair on the elderly people. It really is. Whatever. Nobody messes with the motherfucking bingo, yo. That's all I've heard. I just think the whole thing is crazy. Seriously, everybody needs to just chill out about it. Everyone's just talking about Trump. Everyone. And I don't think he deserves that much publicity. And I know I'm making a video about it, but I just really need to get this out and just tell you all about stuff that's going on here, because I think it's interesting, it's funny, and it's just a little bit weird. Everybody's getting in a kerfuffle, getting their knickers in a twist, if that's what you want to call it. It's just odd to me because everybody seems to be bending over backwards to please him, and like I said, he probably doesn't even care. He's probably wandering around the hotel above, bollocks naked, maybe white pair of socks on, drinking like a pint of Irish whiskey raw, and he's probably like rocking out to the Rolling Stones or something. There's an image. Wish I hadn't said that. And it kind of seems to me like it's a few days off of being president, and he's here doing whatever, having a spot of golf, doing bits and pieces, farting around, and then it's back to reality. He's gonna go back measuring his against Kim Jong-un or whoever he wants to have his next tantrum with, you know? It's just mental to me. The thing is, I know I'm giving out about it and complaining about it, but on one hand, it's great for the local area. I mean, you know, it gets great publicity, gets worldwide press, and it's just great for County Clare and great for Ireland in general. But on the other hand, it's literally just a visit from Donald Trump, the billionaire man baby. He's just here to play golf and piss off again, you know? So I don't see what all the fuss is about. So that's all for me for this week. I think I'm gonna go now and punch a pillow in the face several times. Do pillows have faces? But yeah, thanks a lot for watching. I'll be back again next Friday with another video. And yeah, I just need to go now and chill out and be zen. Yeah. Take it easy. Bye.